Hello and welcome to LP and Laundry. If this is your first time, it's kind of what the name might suggest. We listen to one side of an unusual and largely forgotten record. I talk about it while it's playing, a little bit before, and over the course of it, I probably fold some laundry. Why not? Something to do with my hands, really. It's not about the laundry, aside from the fact that it's, part of the name. Anyway, this week is going to be, I think, a treat. It's one of those rare times where I've actually listened to this side that I'm going to be playing. Usually I kind of experience it new, but I don't think that's going to harm anything. This album is Help Yourself to the Brazilliance of Djalma, D-J-A-L-M-A. I'm assuming it's Djalma. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And it's kind of it's sort of a samba, bossa nova meets swinging hi-fi organ and vibes sort of vibe to it. It's quite lovely, and I think we'll all have ourselves a pretty good time. How about you? Yeah, me too. Hey, how about I start it and then we can, get back to this. All right. This first record, many of you will, or this first song rather, you'll probably recognize, but you may not be able to name it. And I'm not going to name it. Until afterwards, maybe. You may not have been able to hear that, but the kind of the hallmark of these sort of bossa nova records is there's always somebody kind of in the background very faintly going, "Yay!" That may not be coming through your tiny speakers or this tiny recording device that we're using. The album cover is kind of typical of the era. There's rarely a year on these, but if I were to hazard a guess, I would bet 60s, right? This sort of Brigitte Bardot looking lady, but of course probably Brazilian. She has a little bit of the smoky quality to her eyes. Probably not a good idea. I think the font choice over this busy image, maybe not a great choice, but who knows? I will post this picture, the pictures of the front cover and the back cover, of course, on the LP and Laundry Facebook page. I typically post them on mattfugate.blogspot.com, which you can get to from mattfugate.com or mattfugate.blogspot.com. Have you recognized the song yet? This is side 2, because it was the one that was kind of the cleanest side. Sometimes I choose the side because of what songs are on it. This time I think I chose it out of condition, listenability, but I think a lot of it was the song choice. Well, it's a theme from a very famous play, which was made into a movie, which was made into a television show, and suffered very few changes in tone between those. Yes, The Odd Couple. You're welcome. This one is called Polpa de Tamarindo. And I don't think this is necessarily a song. It keeps... There will be these phrases, these musical phrases, that kind of make you think, oh, this is... Oh, no, this isn't that one. You leave me standing alone. Oh. Without a fear on my... No, no. Not quite, right? And of course, as you may have noticed when I showed you the back cover, persuasive essay. Help yourself to the Brazilliance of Djalma. The Brazilliance of Djalma Ferreira is epitomized in this, his first Dot recording, Dot being the record label. American, Italian, Spanish, British, Greek, and Brazilian songs, most of them proven hits, were selected for the unique Djalma treatment and achieve a new degree of excitement in this impressive debut. Over the years, Djalma Ferreira has become known in music circles as the Brazilian Gershwin. His prolific compositions topping the Brazilian charts, often for months at a time. His songs have been recorded by major artists around the world, and 3 of them are included in this album. In his native Rio de Janeiro, Djalma owned and performed at Drink, one of Copacabana Beach's most popular nightclubs. Not where Lola worked. It was so successful that he opened a second Drink in teeming Sao Paulo and gave the same name to his own recording and music publishing companies. At the height of his success in Brazil, with clubs, yachts, a farm, and all that money could buy, including clubs, yachts, a farm, Djalma decided to come to America and scale the heights already conquered by Luis Bonfa and Antonio Carlos Jobim, who leapfrogged to world fame by such a move. He organized a musical combination called the Brazilliance of Djalma in Las Vegas and was immediately booked by the Sahara Hotel. Since then, he has alternated between the Sahara and other hotels along the famous Strip. Here, Dot producer Tom Mack came, saw, and was captivated by the tantalizing rhythms. This, by the way, is Zorba from the musical production Zorba. This album is a labor of love. It combines the talents of Djalma with Mack, a Brazilophile, if ever there was one, who produced records for Carmen Miranda's fabulous Banda de Lua, and Bill Hitchcock, the American arranger who, in the opinion of most Brazilians, identifies with their exotic idiom better than any other non-Brazilian. Bill first met Djalma when he was in Rio to produce and conduct his own revue at the Copacabana Palace. It was guitar virtuoso Laurindo Almeida, a longtime friend of both, who brought them together. The result is pure Brazilliance. This, by the way, was written by a fella named Stuart Allen. Now, did that mean someone at the time this came out? Who can say? Probably not Stuart Allen. He's probably not with us anymore. Could be, though. I don't know. the hard life of liner notes. But how crazy pleasant is this? Right? By the way, these pillows on this couch have never served much purpose aside from falling over. True fact. No. This is Secondhand Rose, which, by the way, was in the Columbia picture Funny Girl. Secondhand Rose. That's why they call me Secondhand Rose. I should have maybe made you guess that one, but I don't know that you would have. I don't know that I would have if I didn't know ahead. Imagine going into a club, like in the Sahara or something. You're there and you're having dinner, perhaps you're having drinks, you're in the lounge. And there's a guy playing this. All is right in the world if you're white and male. Lamento, the Fresh Maker. That's the name of this song, Lamento. And sadly, the last track on the album, actually. As my girls are growing, they are rapidly approaching being the same, roughly the same size. The distinction, the 2-year difference is less pronounced every year. Then it doesn't help that my youngest daughter is sometimes secondhand Rose. Her name is not Rose, creepies. But she wears hand-me-downs. And so all these things that I used to fold, and mentally they're in my older daughter pile. Like I just remember, oh, this thing goes there. This size means her, whereas now this size means, you know, her. Although in this case, I think it means her being the older one. Wow! It's a Brazilian freak out at the end. And again, some guy in the background going, yeah, yeah. And that's the end of that side, which is kind of a shame. But, you know, some albums are just shorter. I think that's why they were able to put out so many of them. You could probably, in one studio session, not one studio session, but over the course of several days in the same studio with the same musicians, you could probably knock out a couple of these at least, because that was, I don't know, I'm not good at math. 15 minutes for that side, if that. I don't know. Anyway, not to grouse about the length of that. These videos are already a risk of being too long, as could be fairly argued. Anyway, hey, if you're enjoying this, or enjoyed this, or found it oddly compelling, trademark, then please do share this video in whatever form you happen to be seeing it, and tell other people, hey, I found this thing. It's funny, or it's enjoyable, or it's educational, or it's oddly compelling. Any of those. Feel free to share it. Get the word out, because this is what I do for creative expression at present time. Not that you have to do it out of pity, really. Does that make sense? I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't bear this much to you. I should just end this, right? Just kind of go out on that high note and do a. Well, here I am. I'm doing a fugatant freak out. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Have fun.